Welcome everybody. This is Travis Peavy here today with our first 2016 edition of the Red Raider Coaches Show. We have with us today our brand new head coach, but he's not new to Bacon County, Coach Kyle Langford. Coach, it's good to have you here in this position as our head coach, brand new head coach, but you've been in Bacon County for a little while. Tell us a little bit about yourself just to catch everyone on up on where you've come from and where you've coached and different things like that.
Well, I'm originally from Vienna, Georgia, which is up there around middle Georgia, around Cordell. I got my first coaching job at Lowndes County High School. We spent 3 years there, and then moved on to Lee County and spent a year there coaching running backs. And then got the chance to go to Hawkinsville as a head baseball coach and assistant football, and went to Hawkinsville and had a real good time there, spent 8 years there. And then got an opportunity to move up and become a head football coach. And my family and I moved to Towns County, and we took over that program for 7 years. And then we decided it was time to come on back down here where we belong. And so we came off the mountain and ended up going to Cook County for a year. And then I've been over here the last 2 years. This is my third year in Bacon County, and our family couldn't be happier to be here. Just the setting really fits us and fits our needs as a family, and the community's been so welcoming and loving. And this, I tell a lot of people, this reminds me of Hawkinsville when we first got rolling, and it's very similar. So we hope we can duplicate that success here, and kind of, you know, the blueprint has been laid for how you do it, and it's no mystery. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of luck, and a lot of good players. So we hope that trend will continue here at Bacon County. And we think we got it going in the right direction anyway.
Fantastic. I know you're very proud of your family. Tell us about your wife and your kids, and tell us a little bit about them.
Well, I've been married now for 16 years to my wife, Addie. She's originally from Moultrie. So she loves football, and she's by far, you know, sometimes you think people in the crowd are critical of you, but nobody's more harsh critic than my wife, because she does know football. And she knows what's good and what ain't good.
Sound like we're married to the same woman.
And she'll be quick. Hey, she's quick to let me know when I come in Friday.
Right.
It's almost like a kid when I get in the house late Friday night. I know if she's up, that it's going to be a problem for me. You know, so I creep in and I say, "Dear God, please let her be asleep." You know.
Yeah.
But she teaches first grade over there at Bacon County Primary School, and really enjoys that. This is our second year doing that. We have my oldest daughter is Allie, and she's in 8th grade at Bacon County Middle School. My middle girl, Anna Claire, she's in the 5th grade at Bacon County Elementary. And then my son, James, who is in 2nd grade, he's at the primary school too. So I tell everybody, I know what's going on at every one of these schools here in Bacon County. And I have a direct pipeline to every school, so I can tell you exactly what's going on. And we could not be prouder, and we couldn't be more pleased with education and the way my kids are treated. I think we have excellent teachers here in Bacon County. We have excellent administrators, and just, you know, I tell people all the time, you know, I'm not going to come to a place as a coach and as an educator, I'm not going to come to a place that I don't feel that, for one, that God's called us to, and for two, that my kids can go to and enjoy just learning and being a student. And, you know, and in a lot of ways, Bacon County is still old school in the way they do things, a lot of common sense, a lot of communication that you don't get in some of the bigger school systems. You know, people are kind of just piped through, and there's not a lot of talking, and you don't know people, and that's not the case here. And so we're just fortunate to be here, and my family's fortunate to be in the Bacon County schools.
We're glad you're here, and congratulations. Understood you just closed on a house.
We did.
Which is really good news for us in the community, because we've had a lot of turnover in our head coaching position, and we're glad we've got someone here that's wanting to make Bacon County their place where they raise their kids, and we're excited about that. You took over sometime in the spring. You became the head coach in the spring, maybe around March or sometime?
Like 1st of May.
1st of May, okay. Once you came here, what were some of the things that you began to do, some of the challenges that you had, some opportunities that arose, and kind of give us an idea what you've been doing from May until summer workouts started?
Well, the very first thing we did, we wanted to make sure that we could retain all of our coaches, because I knew we got had quality coaches in place, and first of all, men of character and men that I would want to coach my kids. So we made sure we got all the coaches retained, and then we made sure we had all the players on board. The good news is really very little changed, so it was not a wholesale deal where the kids had to go nuts and, oh, here we go again. We tried to keep things as similar as we could as possible. And then we looked at it along with the school board and said, you know, what positions do we need to fill? We had 3 coaching spots available that we hadn't filled previous year, and I knew we were shorthanded. We had 5 varsity coaches last year, and I really believe we worked hard, but I really believe we were shorthanded too. So we went out, and the school board and the superintendent allowed us to bring in 3 quality coaches and human beings to fill the staff out. Now we have 8 varsity coaches, and we feel like we can coach up every kid. You know, I don't want a kid, it doesn't matter if they're 3rd, 4th string, 9th grader, or senior, we don't want to leave practice every day without being coached. Because that's what we're paid to do. That's what they get up in the mornings for, is to be coached. And I feel like we're doing them a disservice if we can't coach them. Now, some of them, you know, are young and they may be a little timid, and they're going to shy away. We're not going to throw them out there and get them killed, but we want them to have the knowledge so that when the strength and the growing comes, they'll be able to put all that together and hopefully be good players for us down the road. But after we got all those 3 things established, what I did was, as a coach and as a professional, because the thing is this, anytime you inherit a program, you say, well, the guy before you, you know, everything wasn't all good and everything wasn't all bad. You know, there's good and bad qualities and good and bad aspects of any time you have change. It doesn't matter if it's in the business world or in coaching or preaching.
Yeah.
So we tried to identify the things that were really good, and there were a lot of really good things. So we said, we're going to hang on with those and we're going to do those. And then we looked back and I said, you would be a fool as a coach, and this is 21 years of it for me, and I've seen good and I've seen bad, and I've seen situations that you can be successful and situations that's tough. And we looked back and we said, okay, we're going to hang on to the things that are good, we've been doing that are good, and we're going to keep doing those. And then we're going to look back and we're going to find the things that Coach Johns did that was good. Because certainly you would be crazy not to identify that there were a lot of good things and a lot of good changes and a lot of good ways of his program. So I said, if we can take the best of what we're doing now and the best of what he did and combine those, now we're going to be on to something. And obviously, number one for me, once we started assessing those, we like to work hard. I like the pace that we've been working at the last couple of years. I like how we've been working in the mornings. So that didn't change. I like the way we've been working in the weight room. That hadn't changed. And then we said, well, what made Coach John so successful? And a lot of it is the physical style of play. And that's something I felt like as a program we need to gravitate toward. You know, we're still going to be multifaceted. I want to throw the ball and have a large time and spread it out too, just like everybody. But there's times when you've got to be physical. And we look back the last 2 years, I know that I can speak from. We've not lost a game because we didn't have better athletes. There's not been a game we've lost because people just were superior athletically. We've lost games because people have been more physical than us on both sides of the football. And so that's something we said we got to address. Now, right or wrong, people believe there's different ways of being physical, and they think you can be physical and spread. And maybe you can. Maybe you can. But I only know of one way to do it, and that's to line up and let's get 3 yards from the line of scrimmage and get nose to nose with people and move the pile that way. So we've incorporated some of that along with some spread concepts. And I believe you can be good at both. People say, well, you can't be good at both. Well, guess what? You got to work at it. If you work at being good at both, you'll be good at both.
I agree. Well, we're going to take a break. This is Travis Peavy along with Coach Kyle Langford here at your Red Raiders Coaches Show. Coaches Show here along with Coach Kyle Langford. Coach, we left off just a minute ago, and you were talking about the physical style of play. How did our summer workouts turn out, and now the camp or the different things that you participated to get us to where we're at now, getting ready for our games?
Well, our workouts went well. The attendance was good as always. You know, we would have some days it'd be as high as 64, 65, and I think a low of around 55. So somewhere in that ballpark. So we had plenty of, participation was good. It's summertime, and sometimes things come up, and we try to be understanding of those. And when they have genuine situations, we're willing to work with them. As we went through June, we ended the month going out to Jacksonville, and that's something we've done the last couple of years, and we like doing it. I like doing it because we get to go down there and get out of town, get them out of their comfort zone, and put them up in a college atmosphere so they sort of see how this is what college life can be. You know, if I work hard and I make good grades, this is something I could strive for. And I like to go down there and play the Florida schools because it's, generally speaking, we're going to get to play against bigger schools. I think this year we played against a 7A and a 6A and then a 5A or something like that. So we get to play against schools that are much larger than us, which I like. And then you feel like that they're not going to be as quick to tell their buddy what you're doing too, Right. Whereas if you're in Georgia, you're going to scrimmage somebody or have a thud camp against somebody, and they're going to know somebody else and that plays you, and then it's all out in the open. So we went down there. I thought that went very well. Came back and had the off week, and then cranked it back up in July. And then luckily enough for us, I think it was third week in July, we went to Cook County and participated in their FCA thud camp. And that was a real good opportunity, just a good time. Was had by all of us, and there ended up being 12, 13 teams there. It was hot as all get out, middle of the day, which we ain't used to as much. But it gave us a lot of good reps. I would say we probably got in maybe 300 reps a day. So it was full tilt.
Well, explain what a thud camp is. I know what the concept is, but it's something, we know what 707 is, but tell us a little bit. That's something that's just come around again as a thud camp.
Right.
Explain it.
Become very popular. The GHSA says you can have light, it's called light contact, where you fit guys up. You don't take runners to the ground. You can wear shoulder pads and helmet with no protection on the lower. You just strictly shorts on the lower half. And you get out there against another team, and you'll run your plays. They'll run some plays. You have officials. Luckily at both of our camps, we're very fortunate to have officials. But at Cook, they were running a training exercise for the GHSA. So we had GHSA officials that full staffed at every scrimmage we had or every camp we had. And you get a real quick whistle. But at the same time, you get to come off against other people and work in a controlled environment that you don't have to worry about, hey, well, Johnny's going to get his knee took out. We don't worry about stuff like that. You get to run your stuff, you get a competitive environment, and it feels like you're playing for something. And, I don't care if it's July, January, or Thanksgiving weekend, when you're teeing it up against Cook and Tift County and Thomasville and Brooks and people like that and Clinch, then you better be ready to go. Mm-hmm. And whatever you think you've got in or don't have in, that's irrelevant. Because they're going to blow that whistle, and it's live, and you're ready to roll. And I can assure you, people like Clinch and people like Cook don't give you a chance to say, well, would you like to go reset up again? They're going to line up and play football, and you better do the same. And that's the main reason we took them down there. We want them to sort of see how this is supposed to be done.
Great. Well, we've entered a new school year, and we've opened up with a couple of scrimmage games that really felt like real games. And, people in, of course, South Georgia is football crazy. Been waiting since February since the Super Bowl football to kick back off, and football season kicks off with high school football. What I see on our sidelines is we've got a lot of participation. I don't know that a Bacon County team, since I've been, and I'm entering my 7th year, since I've been here, that we've had more kids on the sideline than what we do right now. So the participation is there. We are young. Tell us a little bit about what you've taken away from the Appleton County scrimmage and the Atco scrimmage.
Well, we go into the thing, and look, we want to win. We want to win every time we get on the field. But like I told them before and after, you know, whether you win 100-0 or lose 100-0 night, they're not giving away rings for these two.
Right.
All right, and you won't go out there and compete, but there's a method to the madness. You know, we go into both scrimmages with the first 15, 20 plays scripted, and we say we're doing this regardless. I want to see these formations. I want to see these plays because we've got to get them on film, and we've got to see, for one, what we need to hang our hat on, and two, what we need to scrap or work on more. And so there's situations, and we would have, you know, Coach Brown's up top with the headsets, and he would say, well, you ought to think about this. And I'd say, yeah, you're right. If this was Pierce County, you're right. But it ain't Pierce County, and we ain't doing it. And so we were just, I thought, very plain. Against Appling, we tried to do a little more what was in our comfort zone, you know, with the double twins and spread and no huddle and all that. And we certainly like to do that, and we'll do it as much as we want to. But it ended up, you know, we got an Appling toward the second quarter. We ended up huddling a lot and kind of laying on people and getting off the ball and grinding a little bit. So we wanted to see that too, and just get different players in. I think we've started maybe 3 sophomores in the 2 games on offense or defense, and so that's good to get them a look. We started a freshman also. So we want to get as many people on film, because I'm going to count on some of these guys that we may say, hey, this is maybe a second level guy, maybe borderline third level, but I need to see them in real competition to see, you know, if they can contribute on Friday nights when it matters. And so I felt good about that. The only thing that was kind of disappointing, you know, we ended up getting Xavier Hayes. He ended up getting injured. I think it was the Tuesday before ATCO. So he got injured, and we're going to lose him for a period of time. And then Dawson, of course, got hurt against ATCO, and it looks like we're going to lose him for a period of time. So that was a big loss anytime you lose starters like that. But other than that, we really came out of it fairly healthy. And yeah, our numbers are pretty good. We'll run about, 56 to 60. We're somewhere in that ballpark. I haven't counted them lately, but that's probably pretty close. And the senior class is just extremely good. I think they're some of the best human beings I've ever coached. It's just small. I think we've got 6 seniors now, and out of 60 almost. So it's just very small, but they work hard and they set a good example. They set a great example. I wish there was 20 of them. Right. But they're just not. But the junior class makes up for it with numbers. I think there's 21, 23, something in that ballpark of them. So it's a real good class. And we had 39 players coming back from last year, and we sit there and look at it, and we'll have 55, roughly back this coming year. So that says we're on the right track, is to keep pulling them from the middle school, and Coach Owens does a good job. As long as he'll keep sending them, we'll keep coaching them, and we'll try our best to keep them out there if they want to be out there. And if they don't want to be out there, we'll help them find something else that suits them. But, we want every kid to know that, hey, if this is something you aspire to do, if it's something you dream of doing, come on out and let's try it.
This is a setup question. This is a trick question.
All right.
But just being honest with it between us and our audience here. You're the coach. This is your old school, and you've been around this a long time. But looking at the beginning of the season, and I know there's a lot of variables, but if you had to put your hand on something, you said, if we can do this year, then I feel like we'll have a successful season. What would that be?
Control the line of scrimmage. And I've coached years. When I was young, I said, boy, we don't have to be very good on offensive line. I'll figure it out, and we'll throw it around, and we'll be fine. And maybe that's true, maybe it's not. But for me, I don't think it's true. I think you better be good up front. You better be tough up front. You better be physical up front. And that's something we've spent a whole lot of time addressing. And I keep telling them, our saying right now is physical, don't take a day off. We're spreading it out. Look, the quarterback may have a bad day. That wind might be blowing hard. Receivers might have a bad day, drop some balls. But physical up front on offensive line, that don't ever take a day off. I told them it's not like we can flip the switch and say, okay, we're going to be physical today, and then we're not going to be physical tomorrow. If you get that mindset, that tough mindset, that physical mindset, I think that's something you just do every day. And every day when they come to practice with us, they know it's going to be a bloodbath, and they know it's going to be bad, and it's going to be hard. And I think, Coach Hyder told me in 1996, And I believe this, that you condition your body for the contact. You condition your body to be physical. You know, and your body gets used to it, just like training weights and lifting. Your body gets used to it. Well, if you physical and you contact every day, I think your body gets used to that as well. It's not a shock to you. It's something you enjoy.
What did Nick Hyder know about football?
Hey, I don't know.
That's a joke. Nick Hyder is one of the greatest football coaches the state of Georgia's ever.
I was talking to somebody the other day, and I tell you, I coached against him in 1996, and that was the year before he passed. And there ain't many of us left that coached against Nick Hyder, had the opportunity to stand on the field with probably the greatest of all time. And it was an honor and a pleasure. And I learned a lot from watching him, even coaching at Lowndes. You coached at Lowndes, you hated Valdosta, but at the same time you admired some of the things they did, and you said, I see what they're doing now, let's do it better. You know, so I did learn a lot in that situation.
When you said that, it's hard to believe it's been 20 years. That was one of the biggest shocks the sports world in South Georgia's ever taken, I think.
Sure.
When it got around that Coach Hyder had passed away at school. Well, we're going to take another break, and we'll be back for our final segment with Coach Kyle Langford. Welcome back, everybody. I'm here with Coach Kyle Langford, and we're going to talk about our upcoming opponent this week, the Pierce County Bears. Coach, turning your attention to Pierce County, I know they've got a senior-led quarterback, probably one of the better quarterbacks in this area. And, of course, we all know about their head coach who likes to fling it all over the field, Coach Pender. And last year we brought him in here and we upset Pierce County, and I feel like when we go over there, they're going to be trying to right the ship when it comes to Bacon County. Tell us a little bit about our opponent.
Well, I told somebody yesterday, I wish they weren't as good as they are, but what they say, the proof's in the pudding, and they're very good, very talented, and that would be hard enough. To play talented ain't just bad enough, and then you got a good coach, and that makes it doubly tough. So he's done an excellent job of developing talent. And boy, they've got some good players. The quarterback, I think, is just fantastic. And I was talking to Coach Nobles from Irwin County, and he said he like Houdini out there. You know, he'll make people miss, and he'll extend plays, and he's got plenty of arm. He's got more arm than they got leg over there, and he can throw the ball wherever he wants to, and understands offense. Is 3-year starter, and can make all the throws, and he does a lot of checking and a lot of the run-pass option. So he takes the game in his hand. Coach Pender puts him in a situation to be successful, and he is. They've got 4 receivers that I think are all just fantastic. You know, the smallest one of the group, number 47, I think he caught 90 balls last year. So, you know, he's the smallest, the baby of the group. And I think the rest of them run 6'3" or better, and they really strike fear into you looking at them because they're very good. From a personal standpoint, forgetting that we play them this week, just watching them on film, I think offensively they're probably one of the better teams I've seen in the last 10 years. And they're complete. Offensive line is a solid unit, and they are, you know, just blessed with a lot of size and blessed with a lot of experience. And then the skill guys are just so good. And what makes everything go is that quarterback. You know, he's just so good. And he makes everybody around him better. And that's what a quarterback's supposed to do. And he fits the bill. You know, when he steps on the field, you can see he's in control of the situation. He's not going to lose games for him. He's going to win them. And doesn't make bad throws and puts them in a position to make plays. And I know those guys are excited to play for him because every receiver knows, hey, I'm fixing to get my turn. He distributes the ball to all the receivers. And I think they're very good. And I told somebody the other day, and after saying all that, and their running backs are fantastic, you know. And I think they're very good. And if he lined up and just ran the ball, 100 times, he'd be very good at that. So they've been blessed to put the kind of talent they've got on the field, and I think they're very good. Defensively, they have actually changed a little bit and gone to a 3-3 stack, which is what we had run the past couple of years. And so the good thing about that is we've got a lot of experience in seeing that, our guys do, and we're pretty familiar with that defensive strategy. So I think it fits their personnel good. They're very big up front. They've got 2 nose guards that look to be well over 300 pounds and are very active. And then they're very good at linebacker. I really like their Mike linebacker. He's a solid player. And the other 2 guys are good, and they'll strike you and play downhill. And then they've got a couple of cornerbacks that I think are really physical and run really well. And then the special teams is outstanding. I wish there was a weakness in them, and I wish there was a chink in the armor. But I tell you what, after watching them in Irwin, it sure doesn't appear that there is. And
well, traditionally, to beat a spread type team like that, the way you beat them is you keep them off the field, and you keep them off the field by being able to run the football. I know you probably don't want to show your cards right now, but would you say that was a pretty good assessment, or is that what you think we may try to do, or show us as much as you can without showing us as
well? I still think we've got to be fairly versatile, and we've got a game plan in to be balanced. We want to be balanced because if you don't throw it, they're going to put 9 people in the box, and then that's going to be really tough sledding. So early on, want to be as balanced as we can and try to make them have to defend the whole field, east and west, north and south. But one thing that sticks in my mind that I can't get out of my mind, and I really haven't gotten it out of my mind for almost a year now, is the game at Bryan County last year. And I thought that was as well-coached game plan as you could have against a team like us and a team like what Pierce does, is to come in and just make it a bloodbath and to come in and make it just a nasty game. And it is extremely frustrating when you want to go, and you're sitting over there, wait. And then when you get in, you say, well, gosh, we've not had the ball in 5 minutes. We've got to make something happen. And then things start going a little crazy for you. Maybe the ball's a little high. Maybe the receiver's route's a little short. And then the next thing you know, you're 3 and out, and you're back on the field playing defense. So certainly we want to do whatever we can to keep that quarterback off the field. And I told him at the Touchdown Club meeting last Monday night, if people think they're going to come watch a Picasso or a ballet or something that's going to be beautiful, that's not going to be us. And it's not going to be a beautiful game. It's going to be a nasty, violent kind of game. And
you don't know how much you're firing me up right now.
It would be great with me. I would be fine if we get in 5 wide and we had the personnel and we could do all this cute stuff. But we can't. I told them this morning, I said, if we were to go out and play 2-hand touch with Pierce, and we played them 10 times in 2-hand touch, they'll beat us 10 out of 10 times playing 2-hand touch. But we're not playing 2-hand touch on Friday.
That's right.
And so
we're going to have to be physical.
We're going to see.
What do you think our key to coming out of there for victory? What have we got to do? What have we got to do to win?
We've got to be in position on defense, and we've addressed this, and we've got to communicate and make them make mistakes. If you think back to last year, defensively, it certainly by no means was a masterpiece, but we hung around, even down 21 at halftime. We just kept hanging around and said, hey, they're going to make a mistake, and then good things are going to happen. And then lo and behold, he threw a couple of picks. Then lo and behold, we score a couple of points. And then the next thing you know, you got a wild one going. And that's sort of what we want to go into this year. It would be foolish of us as a program and as a head coach to go in there and tell them that, boy, we've got Pierce right where we want them and this and that. They're going to get some. They're too good. They're going to score and get some things on everybody they play. Matter of fact, that they played every team in the state of Georgia. There would be things that they could do against every team. They're that good. So I told the guys today, hey, they're going to have some success, and that's okay. It's just you want to limit that. If you hit us for an 8-yard pass, that's not the end of the world. It's when they hit you with an 8-yard pass and you miss a tackle and the pursuit's not there and they take it 80. That's when it turns into a problem. Right. But I hope if we can line up, and we've told them, they're going to go so fast. And that's fine because we see that some in practice. But they're going to go fast, line up, play each play as a play of its own. We don't worry about the past. We don't worry about the future. Let's worry about this play right here. And then, the law of averages says somewhere down the line you're going to get a break. Absolutely. And if you make it, you're going to break. So.
Well, Coach, I've enjoyed this interview. Thank you for your frankness and being up front, and thank you for being part of Raider Nation.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations on being here. We're excited about what you and your coaching staff have brought to the table, and we're glad our kids are in your hands. And I want to invite everybody for Raider Nation to come out and go with us this coming Friday night as our Bacon County Red Raiders take on the Pierce County Bears. It's going to be a bloodbath. You heard it here. We're excited about it.
I'll tell you this before we go. I would be remiss if I did not thank New Vision Church and Lee's Chapel. The last 2 weeks, they have provided pregame meals for our boys, and I tell you what, if I had to pick which one was the best, there ain't no way, because they've both been outstanding. I wake up sometimes in the middle of the night thinking about them both. They're so good, and they've been fantastic. The breakfast crew at First Baptist Church every Friday morning, and has been outstanding too. So the grits have been very delicious and very hot, and so we've enjoyed that. We just thank these people. This community cares so much about these boys and cares about them doing right. And on Friday night, we hope that they're going to leave the game, win, lose, tie, or draw, being very proud of the way we play and the kind of class that we have as a coaching staff and as a team. And that much I can guarantee you. I can't guarantee you wins and losses. We can guarantee you we're going to play hard. We're going to play with class.
Don't know which church is feeding this week, but if I happen to be there, nanner pudding. Nanner pudding. That's what we want.
We'll be at Pine Level this week where they'll have each kid gets 2 chickens, cooked. So it'll be fantastic.
We are very proud of all the churches and everybody that participates here in Bacon County. We're a small community, but we join up together to make this successful. God bless you. We'll see you Friday night, Raider Nation.